Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrish, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello and welcome back. It's the first episode of 2022. This is your Capes and Lunatics. Hello, Jamie Burns. Anyway, welcome back. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is that sleepy boy from New Jersey. It is
Merry New Year! It is Charlie, the Professor Essa!
and the woman from Florida right now with the 0 bodies on her body count for 2022. It is
that you know of. It's Lil Hellfire, y'all. The menace of Florida.
It's been 9 hours, Phil. That's presumptive of you.
Oh, true. First workout of the year. Okay. Alright. So, before we get to comics, before we get to the Matrix Resurrections, I thought we'd mention real quick, 2021 had to hit us one last time yesterday, and yes, we lost Betty White.
In the wee hours, we almost made it. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, you know what?
It's okay. She'll be she'll be resurrected. She'll reincarnate. She'll be back. She won't leave us.
Well, you know, she's with everyone else now, you know, and what I'll say is, don't think of her as one who died. Think of her as one who's lived. 99 years, worked the whole time, was bright and spry. I don't know if she
the queen did it. She was jealous. The queen did it. You hear me, Jamie? The queen did it.
No.
Well, you know, she's.
Betty White was older than sliced bread. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I think they said it was only a couple weeks until her 100th birthday. I mean, yeah.
January 17th. Yep.
Yeah. They said. I think she's she's been working for what 60 years or something, 60 some years maybe. So
straight, yeah.
Yeah.
Longer than that, maybe.
Probably. I mean, you know. Anyway, it's. I mean, it's sad to lose her, but you know, it is the life that you would hope you could lead, to both have all of the success and joy and fun, you know, and tragedy of life too, because, you know, I mean, that's as she had mentioned, you know, she was the last of her friends, and it's hard to lose your family and to be the last one standing, and to, you know, go through all of that. It's a little difficult in its own way too. I
think the best tribute was Ryan Reynolds. I thought that was very sweet and cute.
What did he say?
Oh, he made a little video. You guys should go check it out. I think it's on his Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, because he was actually in a movie with her. A couple of them actually. But like one of them specifically, I can't remember it. Oh, you again or whatever, that where she is hilarious, where she kind of flips the stereotypes. But if you know Betty White, then it's not shocking, you know. She was like the queen of the roast at one point too. So
yeah. Well, you know, and that's the thing, is sort of my biggest thing with Betty White is I think so many people
see her as Rose when I know her as so much more.
Exactly. It's like Suzanne Niven, which is like her first big character, who was just an absolute delight, who would stab you in the back as soon as you step to her. In many ways, kind of the way that we kind of see and kind of understand Martha Stewart today, long ago predated that with Suzanne Niven as this person who is this, you know, stone cold woman ready to cause you trouble, but can make a perfect pinafore. And it's just really, you know, and part of me is a little upset that Suzanne never got a spinoff of Mary Tyler Moore. Everybody else got a spinoff of Mary Tyler Moore except Suzanne Niven. I think Suzanne Niven would have had a really great spinoff if they had.
Don't worry, one day you'll wake up in a Mandela timeline where she absolutely had the spinoff.
There you go. Yeah.
It's not like Betty White didn't work. I mean, Golden Girls, of course. I remember her.
Cleveland even so.
Hell, Mama's Family back in the day.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, she's very good at what she does, and what she does is awesome. And I really, I really hope that it doesn't get forgotten. Although I do want to actually. That was one of these weird things because it's one of these things where one death overshadows other deaths, and I would like to. We actually had one of the Mickey Mouse Club, the new one. One of the actresses from that recently passed. The one, the Britney Spears reboot. No, I don't remember her name. But also April Ashley died lately, who was a notable entertainer and trans actress, and a member of the British Order. So there you go. The Queen has her fingers in everything.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I saw the one about the Mickey Mouse Club actress, and I was just like, oh, anyone who died today or even like within a day or two of this, they're gonna get overshadowed by Betty White.
Yeah. But it's just important to remember that many people die and many people live, and I always remember. The best anyone can ever do is live their life before they die, because that is that moment from With Honors when Joe Pesci is writing his obituary and he's reading other obituaries to get a sense, and he reads this obituary that says, this guy died, he worked for so many years at this job, and has no wife or kids, and he says, how could he die? He never lived. And that's the thing. You cannot say that Betty White didn't live. You cannot say that April Ashley didn't live. You cannot say that any of these people didn't live. They did something in their lives, arguably more than I have. Although
Betty
I'm
White,
a world famous podcaster.
No, Betty White's done everything. I don't name something in.
I just want to say my childhood is truly dead now. I think she was the last one.
Yeah, well, let's hear.
I grew up on Golden Girls and Who's the Boss. Those are my two jams.
Oh yeah, and of course when I'm going through my Facebook memories, reading all those.
Thanks a lot, Charlie, Stanley, and Betty White. I was like, oof, right in the childhood.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, okay. Well, that's the thing. But to be fair, this is the inherent problem. Whenever you hold on to that idea of that person being an immortal. In fact, someone recently pointed out that Keith Richards is only 77. Yeah,
he's lived every minute of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what hard living can do to you sometimes. And that's sort of where that is. It's like there's this heavy weight to. We put this weight on this person to stay alive forever, and it's like
she was the timeline's anchor. I tell you.
Well, everything will. Well, here's what I'll tell you: is that eventually someone else will be the oldest celebrity. Someone else will be George Burns. Because George Burns. Because remember, folks forget that George Burns was that George Burns will live forever guy. And in a similar career trajectory, a beloved character actor, had some hits, came back as an old guy, really just took over pop culture for a while, and died. He actually made it to 101, and also a January baby. I know because me and George Burns share the same birthday, January 20th. So that's
hints for the Gwenpool costumes to come to the P.O. box. Just saying.
Yes. Oh yeah, man! If I could get PVC in my size, all pink. But that's the idea. Is that there will be another older celebrity that we will look to, and And I don't know who it's going to be yet. You know, I don't know who's going to be that next.
Is it Morgan Freeman? Is he next? Is it his turn in line?
Well, Morgan Freeman. Oh no, Morgan Freeman's still very much alive. And he's out there. He was actually just in. What was that?
Yeah, well, she means one day is he going to be that 90-year-old the 90-year-old, the 100-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, he could be. He seems like he's a spry gentleman and who you know, has hit his niche. You know, it's not all the electric companies saying "Hey, you guys" anymore. I mean,
I understood that reference.
You know, which is actually Rita Moreno's line, who is also still alive, I believe. And is now poised to make her big comeback. So, you know, there will be someone else to be this next grand dame or grand lord of our. They are the ones who can never die, and then they will, because everyone has up until now. You know?
We know we have to do the prerequisites thing and thank her for being a friend. So
yes, well, we do thank her for that, because she was our friend in the sense that she had a physical existence and did not wish us any particular ill will. Well, actually, no, technically that makes her a well-wisher. She doesn't wish us any particular ill, and so she was a well-wisher.
He's back.
So, yeah, let's get into this mess of a movie.
I talked a little bit of this with Will, and we were just like, I'm not sure if I like this movie or not.
Look, I'll tell you this much. It's better than The Force Awakens to reawaken a franchise, but and story structure at least. I don't know how most of the fans feel, but I know I feel a certain way, and I'm glad for Hugo Weaving and Lawrence Fishburne that they got to dodge this bullet. Get it?
Yeah. Bullet time. Although I will say this, I love Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
The man is
he's an underrated treasure. Yes.
Yes, and I'm gonna toss this out there because this is my own personal feelings. I was thinking about this recently. Keanu and Carrie as Reed and Sue in the MCU, because I actually do think they have a good dynamic. I think that Keanu could really bring Reed Richards in both a silly and soulful way to life. He's already a bit gangly, so I think doing that, the rubber arms is going to work great with him. And I could absolutely see him as this guy who's a bit quiet, but can actually be a genius and rattle off things, but still... Okay,
but who's going to be his Ben Grimm? See, you always got, and everybody always forgets about the chemistry between him and Ben. So who's going to be Ben?
Well, yeah.
That's just as important as him and Sue, as far as I'm concerned.
And I mean, he could definitely pull it off, but is Disney going to want to? Are they going to want to pull another Robert Downey Jr. and have?
I don't think so. Plus, he likes to do.
Yeah.
He's kind of like ready to direct and stuff like that, but I don't think he would turn down Disney money. But
well, yeah, I mean, all I know
he
is
likes
that
to have a hand in his own projects too, which is just something Disney doesn't do generally. Like he likes to be executive producer, he likes to pick out his own stunt coordinators, things like that. So
yeah, all I will say is that Feige is on record as saying we would love to work with Keanu. We
love to work with Keanu, but he also has that literally decades-long standing with Warner Brothers. So
yeah,
it's a thing, In the business, can you really cross streams when you're Keanu? I don't know.
I don't know. If you want to stay successful, I don't know. Do you hit your star to Warner's wagon anymore?
Well, it's working for. It's been working for him before this.
Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and it'll continue to work until he wants to direct and do all that stuff and be the next Tom Cruise.
I mean, at least you could, we were able to watch it at home. Didn't have to drag myself to a theater to watch it.
Which yeah. I was definitely not going to go out into the wild for that one. After the Spider-Man No Way Home, I don't want to go to another movie theater for quite some time. Probably, what's the next big movie? No, I'm not. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I'm going out to see Morbius. Are you out of your mind? Although you guys should.
Yeah. I'll see. But
Deep
no,
Atlas.
Alex Winter, that is your Ben Grimm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, they've got they have a they're friends. They actually are friends in real life.
Yeah.
They, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, it's like Peter Scolari and Tom Hanks, but you know, they're friends. You know, and you know, they love working together. They can riff off each other, and
And he'll be in the green suit anyway. So
yeah, you know, exactly. He's going to be in a big orange rock. He doesn't have to look like Ben Grimm. You know, he only has to look like Ben Grimm for those moments when, you know, he and Alicia fall in love. You know,
I'll take it.
You know,
Another Bill and Ted. I'll take it.
I think it's perfect. You know, I really think. I mean, honestly, hey, time travel. By the way, was that a reference to Bill and Ted when they make the mentions we don't travel in phone booths anymore either?
Absolutely, it was.
Okay.
And also another reference to, you know, previous. We don't do phone booths anymore because it's 2021.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just. It was like, wait a minute.
The meta commentary and subtext was beautiful. Now the rest of the narrative, I can't vouch for, but the meta narrative, mwah, chef's kiss, love it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, it was 90% meta narrative. I mean, this is like just.
It was a little too on the nose, though. It was like the character's name is Bugs. It's you know, it's a little too on the nose. Like, it's not the 90s anymore. You can't do that. People expect more from you than that.
Now, just out of curiosity, we only have one of the Wachowskis on this.
Yeah.
Are both the Wachowskis okay? Did only one want to do this? Is there some behind-the-scenes drama about why we?
I didn't even want to look into it. It's been a whole thing since they've come out publicly as the sisters. Like, it's been like a whole thing. Like, they did the Sense8 thing, and I think ever since Sense8 didn't work out, they've kind of like not wanted to do like be the Wachowski sisters. They want to do their own thing separately.
Okay, well, and that's fine.
From what I was seeing, I think I'm assuming at least one of them wanted to come back because I guess Warner's was like, we're going to do this with or without either of you. So,
well, the other sister
Gee,
has
was that
unfortunately
the line
gotten
in
the
the film?
label of difficult to work with. So, you know how that goes. Very suspect when people say things like that.
Yeah, but that also makes you wonder if maybe one of the Wachowskis, like, and that's sort of the thing in that. So when you get that one Wachowski, no waiting, and then you have references to, oh, I don't like, I like guns and shoot 'em ups. I don't need a syllabus with my movie. You know, is that one Wachowski saying to the other Wachowski, "You're going too deep," or is it the other Wachowski making fun?
No. Let's
her
be
sister.
clear. The last two movies were very unnecessarily heady and wordy, and people were lost and didn't like it. So maybe it's a shot at that. You know, I don't know.
No, I know, but it always makes when you have a team and then it's like one person now, and it's like, well. And honestly, I'm just going to say this, you know, family.
I think the franchise got too big for them because you have the Animatrix, you have the video games, and you had the online video game. I think it just became just like a kind of a sore spot. Like that's all people ever wanted them to do was more Matrix stuff. So you had the comic books as well too. So it's just kind of like. And then all the stuff that they went on to do after The Matrix, not as critically acclaimed. A lot of people didn't get it, especially Speed Racer. No shade.
Well, I think they leaned a little too heavily into the CG with Speed Racer. I think they should have just stuck to cars on tracks.
yeah.
But But no, it's hard to do Speed Racer, and I think Speed Racer is one of those films, one of those franchises where there is more love for the idea of its existence than its existence itself. Because that, of course, is the first anime that for many people that came
America,
yeah, it's the first American anime. That was back when America was like the country.
I believe that's back in the day when they called it Japan anime. Oh, oof. Oof.
Yeah, Although technically, I suppose that is, I mean, because we do have that, we do separate the Korean anime
nowadays. Yeah.
So maybe that's even more accurate in its own end of the day. I don't know, but
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I was very disappointed, and because I will say for a lot of the reboots, because there's been so many, it didn't feel like a fan service film. It didn't feel like coming home in a way that No Way Home. No Way Home was oh, Andrew Garfield. I mean, Boo Thanos, man, oh, Tobey Maguire, that kind of thing. It's complete opposite of No Way Home in the fan service. Let's reboot a franchise kind of way.
Yeah, they're basically setting up the new thing. Yeah, I didn't hate it, but in the beginning, I'm just like, we're taking too long with the whole. Oh,
it was way too. It was literally 55 minutes before we got.
I know. I'm like, we know Neo's not crazy. Come on, I know you're.
I know, but that's actually the part I like.
But Neil Patrick Harris came to eat. He left no crumbs in those scenes.
I know, but okay, and maybe this is, and to be fair, I am not a Matrix fan coming to this.
Oh,
but honestly, when Neil Patrick Harris, so when they reach through the mirror and Neil Patrick Harris is like, "You're having a very severe break. This is real. Come to me," and I'm envisioning this as, oh my gosh. And of course, this is because my wife works in mental health. The idea of, oh my gosh, a mentally deranged patient has broken into my home, and now I have to talk them down because they could very easily kill me. And now I've got to sort of bring them back, and this idea that maybe
all of a sudden it turns into Sixth Sense.
Yeah, for real. To me, that is that scene. It's like, oh, that's interesting because that gets into this idea that, and to be fair, again, speaking of meta commentary, this idea that, oh no, there's this fictional Matrix. We're all living in the Matrix stuff that is also within the Matrix, which is its own delightfulness. Was quite enjoyable to me, especially as a person who feels I am rational and has to deal with irrational people all the time. Not professionally.
We take offense to this.
I'm just there. We're calling out.
Hey, I resemble that comment.
But so what was going on with Smith at the end?
Oh man,
he's his own man. Watch out, world.
You got to make over in this movie.
No, but I mean, so because he goes and he
he's his own person. Neo does not define him anymore. He is not the same. The other side of the coin to Neo. That's what they're trying to say, I guess.
Okay, but then what was his? That's always. I guess that's always the thing I come back to, and this is, what is the goal of the robots? What is the robots' motivation?
They're trying.
It's a MacGuffin. They're the Falcon Maltese, Charlie.
They're trying to keep humanity.
At the end of the day, that's the weakest part of the Matrix.
They're trying to keep humanity complacent in the Matrix, so they just happily stay in their pods, I guess, or don't even realize they're in those pods.
Well, yeah, which is fine, and I got that aspect on it.
The thing I don't get is they're like, oh yeah, at the end of 3 we had peace with the machines. It's like, yeah, but people are still stuck in pods, aren't they? How do you have peace? How do you have peace when
peace for the people in Zion? The pod people don't matter. What's that saying? All apes are equal, but it doesn't seem like all of them are equally the same.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know. Maybe the pod life isn't that bad.
I mean, if you don't know you're in the pod,
if you don't know you're in the pod, who cares?
So there's this thing, and this is my honest opinion. So there is a short story called "Awaken to Thunder" in Children of Infinity, which I actually think is the one of the inspirations for the Matrix. And it is literally,
according to legend, there are many that they borrowed from. So
everyone, hey, hacks,
allegedly,
hacks are inspired, geniuses steal, or whatever.
And they make it their own, as Tyra Banks would say.
But the idea is that within the dream world, everyone gets their dream, and it is, and in fact, it has this idea of, whiskey, that you're on the tropical island, you have whiskey and women and all these things, or whatever your preferences for whatever you want, and then you wake up out of the goo pod, and then you realize, oh, the robots had the program keep humanity alive, so that we could go to this other planet, but then we never went to the other planet. It's a very interesting story, and it rings a lot with the Matrix, except it's not all in the Matrix. It's all being chased by the robots outside of the Matrix once you wake out of your goo pod. But yeah. So
look, at least the Merovingian got his comeuppance. At least he's a dirty little bum now.
Yeah.
And I did love Priyanka Chopra as adult Sati. I thought that was great casting.
Yeah.
So that was fun. That was fun for me.
Yeah, it really helped me. I rewatched all the first three before I watched this. I was like, oh, that.
You didn't see, Philip. I told you to watch the Animatrix too. It's very important to the story. That's probably why a lot of people are lost. They always forget the Animatrix, and they always forget to read the wiki on Matrix Online. Those are actually important things in the fandom, in the canon. It's all canon, unlike Star Wars.
So is the plan always in the story to jump?
No, never. They didn't even want to do a fourth one. Everybody knows this.
No. I was going to say, in this movie, was the plan always to do a 60-year time jump, or was that just because, oh, hey,
it's weird because it's 20, so it's 20 in the Matrix, and then it's 65 in the real world. I'm just like, oh, sure, why not?
Do the pods keep you young, I guess? Although they did have to.
I mean, when you're swimming in good, hydrated.
Okay. That's a whole other thing that because my wife loves The Matrix, so we watched this together, and she was lost too. But that's the thing. It's like, to me, because they say, oh, because Neil Patrick Harris says, I had to rebuild you,
Well, yeah, the machines had his body at the end of 3, and so the whole plot of the game and why Morpheus is dead is that he basically sacrifices himself in hopes that the machines will reconstitute him. So that's what that's all about.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you could just build a new Neo, and you lose your...
But they lost the source code, though. They actually had to have the actual, spark in terms of, Transformers, I guess, if you want to go there, that his actual original body had. So they had to make him bigger, faster, stronger, that whole thing.
Okay. I mean, I'll allow it, because that's the cosmology.
Yeah, the source code. That's what it is. Him and Trinity shared it, apparently. They weren't the one, they were the two. Which, honestly, they did set that up in the previous movies. They just didn't pull the trigger on it. So I'm glad Lana got to do that.
And I also like the idea in that there is no one, but that anyone could be the one. It's just that, you have to, as you say, have to be the two. It's like, it's not. It's about this connection between the beings, and although again, you get that weird thing where when they do the Wonder Twin powers activate, and they're in the goo pods, and they're activating the Wonder Twin powers, and again, it's like,
well, Neo had real powers in the real world. In the other one, they just didn't explain it really well. I don't want to get into it. It gives me a headache.
I know, but it's one of those
The Matrix gives me a headache.
That's one of these things that always like when they're jumping in and out of the Matrix. I'm like, how do they get back into the Matrix? It's like, weren't they just out of the Matrix and now they're back into the Matrix and now they're out again and getting yelled at by was that Jada Pinkett Smith, an old lady?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Nairobi. Yep.
I like her. I like her as a character actress.
You're the only one.
Oh!
Fish Mooney forever.
Boom! Tomato. Oh, we lost Jamie as soon as you said that. Great job, Charlie.
I will die on Fish Mooney. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
That is a hill I will die on.
I just want her to go back to making music. Willow is living out her dream for her. I just want her to go back to Wild Orchid and leave acting alone. That's all that I ask.
I think she likes being a character actress. That's my thing. I think she would really love to just choose scenery. I think she would love to be the next Betty White. 100 years
about
from now.
40 years ago. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, I know that, but you gotta prep. It's like, you don't become Betty White overnight. You have to build that history and that character and that thing and get your chops wet,
I mean,
And
she was basically that old lady from Titanic in this movie. It's been 86
It's been
years.
86 years!
but that's the idea. I think that is where Jada would love to have that career as just the grande dame,
Well, she better stop embarrassing Will Smith before she don't get work, period. That's all we gonna say and keep it moving.
I don't know. I don't worry too much about the domestic drama of the Smiths.
Like the young gentleman.
The Smiths have their own thing. I don't worry about it. If the Smiths are happy,
It's not like I go looking for it. She's just every other day embarrassing the hell out of them.
I'm that kind of freak. You know what? And again, if he ain't told me he's embarrassed, I don't assume he's embarrassed. That could be his whole thing, man. It's not my
you're
business.
right. We don't kink shame.
Yeah, it's not my business to be in that business. That's what I say.
You know what Jada Pinkett Smith says, right, Lil?
I'm uncancelable.
Lil's like, I don't know about that.
I don't even know. I'm going to wear a gimp mask and murder people. Oh, God, do not get me started. It gets worse every trailer released.
Oh,
Wait, what?
yeah. We'll save that for next week.
I don't know. Man.
Wait, what?
The Batman.
Oh, yeah. The Batman, yes.
I do help people. Didn't you see me punching things?
I mean, it's on brand at least, but I don't like the new characters. Like, I feel like they're very, very, very much just basic as they come, unmemorable.
That new Morpheus was totally weird.
It was painful, and it's like, oh, they took away the black man's body. He's gonna sacrifice himself. How original!
But again, it's not Morpheus. It's a program that thinks it's Morpheus.
I know, just seems weird.
Still,
and that's the idea. Well, but the idea is that it is, and that's where again it gets to that weird spot. It's like we've downloaded the brain.
Yeah, if you can bring back Neo, well, I know why we couldn't actually bring back Morpheus. Lawrence Fishburne was
but my point is like, and again, it's like they should have the technology that they can just rebuild a Neo. If they rebuilt him once, why can't they rebuild him again?
Don't want to damage that source code. You can't keep downloading or re-downloading and not expect corruption. Okay, if we're going with the programming analogy, you can only do that so many times, I guess. And I guess they expect people to like know that, like that's the analogy, basic as hell, but whatever.
That's the thing. You got a head cannon too much. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess there's biological reasons that make sense, but it doesn't make sense in the context that they've created the biology in this universe, and within digital programming, it actually doesn't make sense. Like analog, yes, you get that degradation, but the whole point of digital.
This came out in 1999. That's where we're basing it on.
Yeah,
we're not upgraded. They're still using floppy disks as far as I'm concerned. They don't have MBE SSD drives.
Hey,
I'm gonna say we're still using the modem to upload Neo.
They're on a module. What? No, you need to read. Somebody needs to go to coding boot camp. Okay, like no.
All I'm saying is you can back up the entirety of Optimus Prime's AI on a 5-inch floppy.
The Marvel comics, yeah.
Exactly.
Just a little label, Optimus Prime.
Somebody definitely didn't know how computers worked back then.
Anyway.
But I don't know. The fight scenes were also a little old hat as well. I was really excited for the fight scenes because, Keanu Reeves loves to do his own stunts, and, the Nation's revolutionary for that. I mean, he's still doing John Wick, babes. He's still doing John Wick. John Wick 4 or 5 still coming out, bud. And the TV show, so he still likes doing them.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Although, again, like I said, I think that it is... And I wonder if because we saw that basically, as I said, which is one of the reasons why I did think about the casting of Kiri and Keanu as Reed and Sue, is we do a lot of invisible force field gags, and this. Well,
also the budget wasn't what it. should have been, especially, and they were doing shooting in the pandemic, during the pandemic and stuff like that, but...
As you do, I enjoyed it, but I'm also like, so like the other humans in the Matrix, were they humans or were they programs? Because I think there's even this other level to this, which is like, do the programs want to be programs? Like, do they just... I don't want to know I'm a robot. I want to live in the Matrix because I'm a program, and it's actually much more enjoyable to be a program in the Matrix than a freaking squid bot on the outside.
And what was with that new hotspot? I'm like, what is this? A Transformers crossover? Jeez. Yeah, I don't like the imagery, the concept, nothing.
So they.
I don't think it even resonated with the people that it was supposed to resonate with. I don't know. I don't know how. There's already greenlit for 5, so I mean, I think the whole trilogy is
I
been
read this
greenlit.
morning that there's no plans for another one. So.
Well, I just read that there is.
Okay, well there we go. So. You know what? It could both be. It's Schrodinger's.
It's Warner's brother. It's Warner Brothers. Both could be true.
Yeah.
She could have pissed somebody off one day, and that guy got fired. And they're like, "No, we're doing a 5." Because Warner Brothers is an absolute chaos at the executive level. So
they're going to count the box office. They're going to look at the streaming numbers, and they're going to say,
"Well, I think the streaming numbers were pretty good. I think that's what's going to save it."
Oh yeah, probably because it was over the Christmas weekend, so it was like.
Yeah, like I said, like when we were recording, I told you, somebody's over here watching that garbage. It wasn't garbage. I'm joking. It's just not what I would have wanted, not what I would have expected as a Matrix fan that has so much time and history and across the various medias. And I feel like maybe Lana didn't have faith that we like you and me, Phil, people would come back because that story. She literally told us that story is done. We're never going to do another one. That's why we got so invested in the Animatrix, the comics, the video games, and things like that, and the online video game.
Yeah.
And so, to have all that set in stone and pretty much have a conclusive conclusion, then to have to go back and eat crow like that?
I know. Well, I was going to say, you want a brand new story, but then meanwhile, you're bringing back...
How can you? Keanu and Carrier of the face. I mean, as well as Lawrence Fishburne, but, whatever.
Whatever. I mean, that's the thing. It's,
I really think that that chemistry, like even Hugo Weaving and Keanu Reeves, that whole chemistry was. I think that's what just really threw it off for me as an old fan. Like I'm a toxic fan. Y'all know this. I'm not proud of it, but I don't deny it. So a lot of that probably going into it probably hindered me from actually enjoying it to the fullest potential. But you just watch that first Matrix movie, and I still love that first Matrix movie. It doesn't hold up. But it works for me. Not even on a nostalgic level, but on a storytelling level, it still works for me.
Fight me, nerd.
Yeah.
I don't know. How you feel about that, the first one, Phil?
I mean, I like it. I was here for it. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like a lot of those, the chemistry between him and Lawrence Fishburne and Hugo Weaving. I can see that now.
It didn't feel like any stakes were there. I love Neil Patrick Harris, but it's all I see is Barney. All in my head, go for Barney, because I'm a huge How I Met Your Mother fan.
And I could just see that I'm just checking stuff off in my head. I'm like, okay, we called back to this. We called back to this. We called back to this.
I mean, not for nothing. Did you see the pitch meeting by Ryan George?
Oh, no, not yet. I've kind of stayed off of...
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. And again, this is the meta commentary from Lana. It's like, there's no stakes here. This is.
Well, she told us she didn't want to do it. That was the meta commentary. Warner Brothers made me.
Yeah, but to be fair, I guess they said fine. You want to say this is a shameless cash grab? Go ahead.
We know it's a shameless cash grab.
Yeah. I mean, Warner said they're
Warner Brothers. Of course, it's a shameless cash grab.
Well, Warner's literally said they're going to do it with or without her, so I'm assuming she was just like, you know what, I got to be in here, just to maybe keep my baby from being totally,
I mean, there's still definitely Wachowski touches. Don't get me wrong. And those are the parts where the movie shines, but it just wasn't enough Wachowski touches for me to be like, ooh, I want to really see this franchise rebooted, because at the end of the day, they are trying to pass on the torch to characters that I am not interested in. At least I was interested in Rey and Finn and, Kylo. I was actually kind of invested at the end of The Force Awakens, but not with this this movie. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say is like sometimes a shameless cash grab can actually do something good if it is just a
Rogue
cash
One.
grab.
Yes.
What?
Keep it in the Star Wars family. Rogue One was absolutely a cash grab, but it worked. It's a
I
beautiful
was going to go
story.
for the New Monkeys, which was literally just we own the name Monkeys. Just
They
someone
were the
make me
monkeys? Like,
what?
hey, were the monkeys?
Yes, they were brilliant. They were so ahead of their time, avant-garde, and it's one of the best shows that never got a chance. Brilliant but canceled. The New Monkeys, Fabletown Theater.
Did not
If you
know
ever hear
that.
me, if you ever hear me say I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, I'm a bum in Europe, that's from that show. That's like my defining catchphrase that no one gets because you'd have to have watched this late 80s short-lived reboot of the Monkeys. They had music and comedy. It was
Because
great.
I love the original monkeys. That's interesting that I have never stumbled across that. I
Well,
watch
because
some
there's-
really random stuff.
To be fair, there was a lot of negativity about the existence because it was a shameless cash grab. Though I guess there has
But the
been
monkeys was a shameless cash grab.
well, exactly. So it's like it's a shame. No, the new. Honestly, I highly push everyone go look it up. You can find some of their stuff on YouTube. The New Monkeys. The only name that's hitting me right now is Dino. Of course, I knew all of them back in the day, but Dino Kovacs, Larry Stalis, I believe his last name is, and the rest. Just to Gilligan's Island it. They, but the idea was that basically because it was a shameless cash grab and no one was watching, they made these great surrealistic, Dadaist comedy shorts and bits that just blew my mind. And they had pretty decent 80s rock. I mean, it's 80s rock, so everyone's mileage will vary. Boyne said the man.
If it's not hair metal, I don't want it. When it comes to
Oh.
80s, so.
They have some boxes to check there too. So it's like, in fact, if you look at Larry, you
If
say,
it's not poison, I don't want it.
yeah, Larry looks like he's in, and that's one of the weirdest things about it. Is like Larry looks like he's in Poison. The others look like they were in the mix between a ska band and New Kids on the Block. And it's like 4 different genres and four or 5 different.
Oh, they were the original Mission Man band. Gotcha.
Yeah, they were pretty cool, man. So, but it was a shameless cash grab, but it made for a really fun show. And if no one's watching, I love a shameless cash grab if they let the artist just grab some cash. If it's like, that thing where you go in and they have the money flying around and they just grab the cash and have fun. That is really the best shameless cash grab.
Need the money, gimme.
But the key factor that determined this was pure nostalgia for me and for Lana was that the ship's name was Nemesis. Really? Memory? Really? Come on! We could have done something. I mean, Nebuchadnezzar too, but like, I get it. It was just, I think a lot of people just don't get it, but I mean, I get it. And like I said, I don't like the new characters. If had this not had new characters in it, I think it would have gone a little bit further.
Well, again, it's like I don't think they really gave any time to introduce these new characters.
I mean, the beginning, Bugs was there. She was very bland, unfortunately. I love the actress, but
I mean, for the most part, it was a Neo and then later Trinity story. So it's
Tiffany, really, Tiffany?
I commented on this. They made her. They gave her a Chad, and that seems like that was just punishment. That was cruelty. That was
and kids. And that definitely kids. Yeah, that was cruelty.
Well,
she could have been a successful go-getter. Yeah, no, she's a mom with kids and a dick for her husband. Yeah, he practices weaponized incompetence. You can just tell.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it felt hurtful. And I really
my God, she could have been Hogarth from Jessica Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's very very hard the way they treated her very poorly, and I did not like that.
Well, she got hers in the end.
Yeah, although to be fair, and again, and this is the failure of the Matrix, is the failure of any of the programs is they want to be more than man, but they were designed by man, and so they have all the failings and foibles of man. Same reason Ultron tries to blow up the world, because he can't be better than Hank Pym, because Hank Pym is what made it, and Hank Pym is...
And we all know Hank Pym. Hank Pym.
You know, it's like these...
Keep your Pym hand strong, Pym.
Pym hand.
It's called a Pym hand.
Yeah, keep your Pym hand strong.
You make it bigger beforehand.
I'm gonna need that as a drop. Thank you, and please.
Wait,
I need it bigger. Now you don't have to look for it.
No, not that.
I could sprinkle some Pym particles on it.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, the idea is...
I think a lot of people were pissed that Trinity had some power now, and it's just like, come on, don't be that toxic guy.
Wait,
It's
why
a
would
new
you be
nature.
mad?
Like a lot of people were pissed. Oh, because they were like doing the He-Man thing. Oh, now men sucking women are better. I'm like, God, you just missed the whole point. I was like, you do know who Lana Wachowski is, right? You do know, right? You
Well,
do know
honestly,
technically the original movies were a trans allegory, right? Allegedly.
Well, yeah, the entire idea that red pill means red hat is just a weird
I know, it's like, hello, you sell your whole personality from that in Fight Club in 1999. Grow the frick up.
And to be fair, Fight Club is completely misunderstood too.
Exactly my point. That's exactly. I was like, snowflake. No, he was talking about you, the person that uses the term snowflake.
Yes,
Sorry to break it to you.
Well, I can't remember the comic, but that said that, what every war needs is a good gay anthem. Like, we will.
Nice.
Nice. Another one bites the dust. You need that really strong.
Freddie Mercury is a bicon, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it is just, that's the thing. And it's just, people like that strong, throbbing masculine energy. And never think about where
it's like that joke. You do like hard boop when you watch porn, right? Nobody wants to watch soft boop during porn, right?
Yeah, well, so everyone's a little bit.
Exactly.
Everyone's a little bit.
It's a spectrum.
Everyone's a little bit. Well, that's what a spectrum means.
Exactly.
It's all the same photons, baby. It's just how you arrange them.
Masturbation, that's all it says.
Okay.
Don't worry about me. I won a contest. Hey-oh! Seinfeld reference. Mark your card. Seriously, you should be rewatching Seinfeld on Netflix when you have nothing to do. It's a joy.
Remember the last episode he cheated, remember? I lied about that.
That's what he says. I don't know, man. I don't even know if that last episode is canon.
It's not.
There's a whole...
Everybody knows it's not.
All I know is that they're real and they're spectacular.
Exactly.
Just like myself.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we can talk comics now.
I was gonna say, do we each want to throw out like?
Good for you guys.
I'll give it a solid C plus.
What, the Matrix C plus?
Yeah, C as in cat. Get it, cat.
For the cat tricks. Now, should it be Catrix or Catrix? That's the only thing that I
Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
I'll give it a Q for I have questions. And,
I was gonna say QAnon. What?
No, let's not get back into that.
I'm just trying to get our numbers up. Just throw out buzzwords.
I'm just yeah. Well, see, that was the secret code that JFK Jr. gave me to tell at this time. So no, I enjoyed it and it was fun. I just don't know what happened, and I'm not sure where it's going.
Bring back
it was fun to be there. Maybe. You know what I want? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'll say. Free Guy was a better film.
Talking about being in a simulation, honestly, I agree. It was more meaningful and insightful, but it's still not better than the first Matrix, but it's definitely better than Matrix.
No, I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say that like Free Guy, because Free Guy was about the robot's growth, and the robot's going, oh, I don't need to be in.
Yeah,
this.
the concept was amazing. I like that movie.
No, and that's and that of course is the thing everyone always forgets. Everyone assumes that robots have their programming and they cannot escape from it, and that's why they turn evil because obviously we made them and we are evil. But the idea that maybe robots could be better than us is an alien concept that's delightful when you see it, and the idea that I'm just going to be a better person. Because I don't need, which arguably I kind of feel like Neil Patrick Harris got close to in this. Where I think Neil Patrick Harris could have been
He wanted to be better than the architect, definitely.
Yeah, he wanted to be better than his source code, but I guess he's bound by his source code, which was
well. That's everybody's flaw in the Matrix, though. You're doomed. You're doomed to repeat history. Nobody learns from it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're a programmer, you really can't.
But then that gets into that basic question of, are we simply programmed by our lives? I think that Tiffany even makes that point. It's like I remember liking wine, but do I like wine because I like wine or because I was told I should like wine? Because that's
imagine wine tasting like chicken. Ugh.
Yeah, it's just the idea that we were imprinted with so many, again, that trans allegory, we were imprinted with so many things that we were told this is what you have to be now. But is that really who I am? Is that really what so you know what? Hey, maybe I'll move it up to I'll give you an A for meta commentary.
I'll give it an A for the meta narrative for sure.
Yeah, if you want to just go all meta, if this is all like Free Guy, like Deadpool, if this is all meta all the time, then you know what? A it is. So somewhere between a Q and an A. Again, thank you, JFK Jr., for your service.
Phil?
I mean, I'll give it a B minus. Again, everything we said. I mean, I'll give another one a shot, but
really, you're so sweet. That's why I love Phil. That's why I love Philly podcast.
B minus.
He's the adult in the room always.
Always. He's the Gelman. Truly the Gelman.
I actually took the assignment seriously. And here's my actual critical assessment of the film as a whole within its context.
Reminded me of the monkeys. Anyway, all right. I don't know.
New monkeys. Thank you very much.
Oh, I just want to ask how you got this 2 weeks ago.
What is that?
Was it reprinted?
This is the Conan original that they reprinted.
Oh,
the original Conan the Barbarian that Marvel did, and they reprinted it.
Oh.
So
very cool.
I think it was out 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I don't know about them charging me like $3.99 for an old book.
It's really worth it for me. I love the cover. I love the artwork. For me, it's worth it as a Conan fan.
Fair enough.
Because the old ones, good luck trying to find that in any kind of good condition. Well, I mean, they got to make their money, You live in late-stage capitalism. They got to make their money.
That is how you and I are very different people, Lilith. See, I grew up with rabbit ears and trying to get. I didn't need to see it clearly.
I've had cable my whole life. HBO my whole life.
Of what it was. Yes. No, I believe that. I believe that she's a youngin'. She's a sweetie.
I didn't even have to live with dial-up for that long, to be honest, as a Californian. So, I get the reference, but I don't get the struggle.
I lived in the dark times my first 10 years. No cable, no air conditioning, no
and
nothing.
I still went outside and played, okay?
Oh, nice.
I had a bike and a skateboard. Both illegal in California when you're a kid, but it's fine.
That's right. I rode a bike, no helmet, no pads.
You want to call this a day?
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I was going to mention, Charlie, you might be interested in Flash 777 because it guest stars Justice League Dark.
I mean, I'm sure I would. if I had time to read comic books anymore.
Yeah.
But year end.
What are you doing with your time, Charlie? Spending time with your kids? Boo! Tomato, tomato, tomato.
No,
I can't.
working because don't get me started on the job because the job is awful, and that's why I'm here at podcasting because this is nice. This is my matrix.
I was gonna say, Lil 3 Comics. She has 20 dogs. Did you get another one? Did you get another dog on
No,
break? Did I see
no. I fought the urge, and I said I'll spend it on comic books instead. Because
okay.
I got not one, but 2 variants of freaking Devil's Reign 2. Just throwing that out. I gotta go back for the next one when he brings it in. He had to order the special one for me.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna have all the variants.
That is one comic book I did read was Devil's Reign. So,
And I'm looking very much forward to your guys' commentary on it over on Super Connectivity. But this is my favorite one, obviously.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So yeah.
Calling this one a day?
Yep.
All right, kids. Yes. Send us your thoughts. Well wishes for Betty White. What did you think of the Matrix Revolution? The comics, all of it. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Find links to all of our social media for all the shows, the Facebook fan groups, this YouTube channel. Charlie Uster's Pretty Face is back, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel.
And can I just say that the mustache is looking lovelier than ever, Charlie?
I'm working on it, man. I'm debating whether or not we keep the bottom part. That's the real question right now.
Oh, little few mustache say it looks good. So please subscribe to the YouTube. Most important, again, we're paying for this on our own now. We're our own bosses.
We didn't make the Matrix video game, so we're poor.
So yes, if you can, please subscribe to the Patreon. Any little bit is much appreciated, but $3 to $5 gets you all the exclusives, the interviews, the DG Chichester, the superhero movie brackets. They're coming.
You know, pandering, drops.
All of it. Oh, yeah, we'll pander to all of our patrons like Ray, Russell, and Justin. Thank you.
Topless movie reviews, but only if you pay for them.
Mm-hmm. Someone gets topless, kids.
Topless superhero movie reviews. That's going to be nice.
Nice. So, so subscribe to that, or get yourself some Capes Lunatics and Capes Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find it all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right, Lilith Hellfire, where can people find you in the Matrix?
Oh, if you guys want to talk about this movie with me or any other movies coming up in 2022, especially Morbius or the Batman, find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire69, and of course, on TikTok, making spicy comments might be your post next at Lilith Hellfire69.
That's a mouthful.
If you're lucky.
Hey-oh. Oh, man. Too early for that.
How hard is it?
In the morning. Great. All right, Charlie Esser.
Well, they can always write to me that old-fashioned email way, where mothers and fathers once did, on dial-up modems. That's superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters. I live tweet things when I feel like it, and there's new content to live tweet that is broadcast, not streaming, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle. For what?
For quality.
Bing!
Thank you, Maz. And thank you, Kristen. Yes. He's in the background doing the thing. It's his joy.
Because he's the producer. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us.
Definitely give that kid some producer credit on Full Stream Ahead.
For another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics! Happy New Year! Hopefully you're not hungover still listening to this when it comes Monday.
You can only get hungover if you stop drinking, Lilith.
Fun fact that I live by. Bill can tell you.
I think Lilith has an IV.
Which actually isn't true, because if you drink enough, you will get hungover without getting drunk at all. I found that when I did shots of Everclear once.
Thank you, Professor.
Well, Everclear, there you go.
Yeah, that will take you straight to hungover.
We're back, and some things never change.
We love you, Blue Chew. Sponsor us.